You're listening to the Dynamic Dojo Show, your source for martial arts talk radio.
3, 2, 1, we're live.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to Dynamic Dojo Talk TV with Rusty and Kat. I'm Rusty, and I've got my camera all set really, really low, and I'm joined here by my partner in this show, Kathy Long. Let's see if I can bring up her camera here. There we go. There she is. Hey. And here we are. Hey, it is February 24th, 2000. So please keep tuned in, because after our first segment, we're going to be joined by our special guest, Sensei Vanessa Luna. She's a Goju-Ryu practitioner, and we're going to learn a little bit about her background in the martial arts and everything she does. She's a successful tournament promoter, and all sorts of stuff. And I'm also led to believe she's an author too. So we'll get into that at around. Let's go ahead and bring her out. So can you hear us now, Vanessa?
Yes,
can we hear you?
Yes.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
And I started martial arts class studying Goju, Japanese style, and the students, they were really great. It was about 5 students, and they were all yellow belts, and they were really advanced. They would go to every local tournament that New York had, and I said, I wasn't good at the time. I noticed that I wasn't good, and I trained every single day. That as soon as I would leave class, I would train 3 days a week, and when I would leave class, I would come home in front of the TV, punching and kicking, and it was It took me about 2 years, but within those 2 years, I became one of the top 5, and I would go to tournaments with the top 5. And financially, we couldn't really afford to go to NASCA and go far, but every local tournament I would place, and I was actually undefeated for 4 years in forms, which was really big to me because I took it as a craft, and I wanted to perfect my form. And I would, score 10, and I was undefeated in forms for 4 years. And it took me, I was at the age of 16 when I received my black belt. My instructor, he went from the Boys and Girls Club, and he opened a school. He opened a school in another borough, and he was going through some hard times in his life, where I actually became the instructor for the school for about a whole year by myself. So at the age of 16, I was teaching men. Men would come in the class that were 30, 40 years old, and they would say, "This young girl is going to teach me." And then after I knocked, someone in the head or something when we were sparring to show them that I could take care of myself, they had respect for me. I was teaching for about a year, and I came one day and the school had closed. I still wanted to keep my training. And with one of the other students that we were high level, we would keep competing in tournaments. And Dragton from Brooklyn, she had an amazing school, and she saw me one day at a tournament, and she said, "Where's your instructor?" And I said, I'm in between instructors right now. And she invited me to her school in Brooklyn, and I would travel almost 2 hours from the Brooklyn, and I would train. It was the first time that I saw in a martial arts school that there was more than 2 females in the class. So,
nice.
That was amazing. She's been a great mentor to me. I went on to college, and I have a degree in social work and counseling. I went to Franklin Pierce University, and I had a martial arts program running while I was in college there. And when I came back, I said, it's time to start my dream. And my dream was always to have a martial arts tournament. Since I was 15 years old, I wrote a plan and a book of how I wanted my tournament to be. One of the things that I saw was that the students that were 15 and 16 years old, they would wind up leaving. It wasn't, we would go to tournaments and we would just keep winning trophies, but there wasn't anything different. And I wanted to have a martial arts tournament that was different, that would make people want to compete, that would make people say, I want to go to this tournament because every time I go, it's fun, making them want to compete even more.
Right.
And I thought of, what is it that I love to do? Because they say if you're going to work in something every day, it has to be something that you enjoy. And 2 of the most things that I enjoy in my life is music and martial arts. Martial arts has been my first love. And in 2005, I had my first the musically recognized martial arts tournament. where I got Def Jam and Interscope Records to give promotional items. Everyone who came to the event got a gift bag full with CDs and posters. You know, I gave out $5,000 in cash prizes in my first tournament, and that was like the big thing to me that I wanted. You know, one of my goals in my life is, why can't, you know, my husband is a professional boxer, Angel Luna. He's a featherweight professional boxer, and it's so amazing to me that, you know, for fights they're getting 10, 20,000. You know, why is it that martial artists, we train just as hard, that we can't go to a tournament and compete for $10,000 in cash prize, 20,000, 30,000. So I'm making it my life mission to one day have a tournament where we're giving out over $50,000 in cash prizes. Maybe about 4 years ago, I thought of having a video game. Where people who win in my tournament get featured in the video game. And I came out with Mr. Matt 2K17. And the characters that are in that video game have been martial artists that I look up to. I work closely with Jerry Fontanez, which my tournament is on March 24th. It's Region 11 official tournament for WUMA, World United Martial Arts Federation. And my video game, last year we did Mr. Matt 2K18. So this year is going to be the first time where I have a tournament, and whoever wins is going to be characters in Mr. Matt 2K19. Yes, and it's about for martial artists to be able to have a professional career in martial arts. I love, ever since I was young, it was my heart and soul, and I, every day practicing. And why can't we as martial artists be on the same platform as MMA and boxing? You know, there might be a lot of MMA supporters out there, but it hurts me that martial arts didn't grow to that platform. My martial arts tournament is going to be on pay-per-view. It'll be available in 167 countries. So if you can't make it, you could see us on pay-per-view. And that was another big thing for me. You know, my husband has boxing fights, in different types of scales, small venues, but they're always on pay-per-view. So this is the first time that I'm bringing it on March 24th, where I'll have it on pay-per-view.
Wow.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying, I've never even thought about, a martial arts tournament on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I wonder what happens, but go ahead, Kat.
There are a few countries that actually do that. They put it on pay-per-view. But I was just thinking, not only does she have to have, something worth to make it worthwhile for people to sign up, but it's also a huge issue on making sure the tournaments run correctly. The judges know what they're doing. The scores are done correctly. The divisions are run smoothly, depending on whether you have kids or adults, and how that goes first or second or third or whatever. I mean, there's so much involved in making sure that tournament's done right.
For this year, we're using WUMA, the World of Martial Arts Federation. We're using their rules. Together with Jerry Fontanez, we've looked at the rules. And, to me, I've come from a traditional martial arts background, so I want to keep the traditional. One of the things that we're doing is that we're using 1 point for a kick, and we're using 1 point for a punch.